for a Star Wars movie, the Solo numbers don't look sustainable for future budgets of the planned anthology movies. Well, not if they suck. Get these SJWs out of here. Get them out of here. It's as easy as that. Just get the SJWs out of here. Stop letting people like this, people who respond to the fans' complaints by calling them man babies, fire them all. I don't know who is working on Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know who's working on Boba Fett other than the people that we know. But you found it easy enough to fire them. Fire everyone else. Fire them all. Clean house.
Well. Today we have news about the cancellation of Star Wars films as a result of the disaster that was Solo, a Star Wars story. And while all the shill media kept telling Star Wars fans who disliked that movie and perhaps The Last Jedi that we were crazy, that everybody loved that film and everybody was going to go see it and it was going to make billions of dollars. Well, what we know now is that it lost at minimum $80 million. And of course, that's what happens when you have a director that attacks the fandom, when you have shill media, when instead of talking about all the cool stuff in the movie, attacks the fandom. And you have that same media writing articles about the sexuality of certain characters in the movie, things that nobody cares about. That's what you get. You get a $100 million loss. Let's take a look at the articles. So there is a wide variety of hot takes on who is at fault for the cancellation of both the Obi-Wan and Boba Fett movies coming up, a Star Wars story, but it seems like the company that first broke it, who should get credit, was Collider. And it's an interesting take when you read through it. It may be a while before we see any more movies like Solo, a Star Wars story. Good thing, right? Sources with knowledge of the situation tell Collider that Lucasfilm has decided to put plans for more Star Wars story spin-off movies on hold, instead opting to focus their attention on Episode 9 and what the next trilogy of Star Wars films will be. Sources tell us that the previously rumored Obi-Wan movie was in active development, but those who were working on the film are no longer involved. It was recently reported that Logan filmmaker James Mangold was in early talks to write and direct a Boba Fett film, but that was before Solo's release. The news comes in wake of disappointing launch of Solo, which was only Lucasfilm's second a Star Wars story spin-off, but which received mixed positive reviews. See, that's an interesting hot shill take. It's not mixed positive. It's either mixed, it's positive, or it's negative, right? I mean, that is such a nitpicky shill thing, but it's clear what that is. And reviews and fell short of box office expectations. The film scored $85 million on opening weekend and grossed $193 million domestically and $340 million worldwide in 4 weeks, compared to Rogue One, which did $155 million, so about double in that first weekend, and grossed $424 million domestic by week 4. To put simply, Solo did fine by blockbuster standards, but it wasn't the event that Lucasfilm expected out of a brand new Star Wars movie. See, this again is pure shillery. First of all, if you are making movies and you spend $400 million, you're not happy when the film grosses $400 million. Most of the time, the numbers we see when they talk about what was spent on the movie will not include the marketing, which is often can be just as big as a production budget, depending on the video or the film. So you don't spend $300 or $400 million to make $50 million. You spend $300 or $400 million to make $1 billion. This is Star Wars we're talking about. This is not just some regular old run-of-the-mill summer action flick, which is what Disney's turned it into. Of course, the May release date could have been had something to do with it. As opposed to Rogue One or the episodic films by J.J. Abrams and Ryan Roundhead Johnson, Solo went head-to-head with a slew of summer blockbusters in May, opening mere weeks after box office juggernauts Avengers, Infinity War, and Deadpool 2. Now, this is, again, something very interesting. Why can you imagine a world, would you imagine a world where they are making excuses for a Star Wars film? I mean, seriously. You're making excuses for a Star Wars film. I don't care who they're up against. They should absolutely demolish at the box office no matter what. And I don't know the argument that they're making that people spent all their money seeing Infinity War or that they chose to see Deadpool 2, which is what I did. Okay, make a better movie. Don't have your director, Ryan Roundhead Johnson, attacking the fandom. Don't have your shill media pre-running damage control, calling your fandom toxic. When will they learn? Probably never. Right now, they are not going to revisit it. And there is speculation that Mr. Ryan Roundhead Johnson may be losing his trilogy. We see with this article. There's a major disturbance in the Force. Things may be looking bad for our plucky rebel heroes as right now as they flee the massacre on Crate, but it's looking even worse over here in our corner of the galaxy. Following a disastrous performance of Solo and the ongoing rift with a major part of the established fandom, we didn't start the fire. They did. We didn't start this fight. We didn't throw the first punch. But we're finishing it, clearly. So maybe focus on mending things with the fandom instead of writing more trash piece articles about how Lando has sex with robots. U.S. film site Collider reported that Disney has put the brakes on the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi movie with Ewan McGregor and any future spin-off anthology movies. Now, even more shocking report claims that the unpopular Ryan Roundhead Johnson may find his hugely divisive trilogy will be canned as well. One U.S. commentator said they are trying to figure out what the new Star Wars trilogy is going to be, and right now there's a lot of talk that Disney may very well cancel Rian Johnson's trilogy. Well, of course. Why wouldn't they? They're a disaster. Lucasfilm halting its planned Star Wars story movies as Solo bombs at the box office. Remember when we all said it would? And they said, no, your boycott, your soycott isn't going to matter. It's not going to matter. Oops. Oops. Star Wars lost a fortune. Now, we're going to have different episodes. We're going to have better Star Wars movies. But I'm not sure when, if ever, Hollywood will learn that it's the same thing we saw with this last election. There's a huge, not vocal majority of your fandom that doesn't like it when you attack them. It actually kind of works against you, as it should. So, where does Star Wars go from here? My prediction is fewer movies, and I do predict they will just stay away from a Star Wars story. They went big with, Han Solo, and they blew it. And I don't see another storyline that they could ever come back and redeem anything with. Right. So I'm very interested to see how Star Wars retools and re-gears everything from this spewing out, just hoping we're going to consume everything. What will Disney do to rein in their shill media? Will they do anything at all? Really, I'm wondering what you all think. The Star Wars fandom always has the best conspiracy theories. Does this mean the end of Ryan Roundhead Johnson's trilogy? Will they look at how the media talks about the fandom? I think if they want to succeed, they should strongly consider not dividing us and instead just sticking to talking about Star Wars and not attacking the fans themselves. Look forward to reading your responses in the comment section down below. Thanks to everyone who follows on Twitter at twitter.com/thequartering and for sharing these videos because it's really helping the channel grow. Thanks for watching this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.